Hello, my classy ladies. You know, elegance isn't always about what we choose to wear. Sometimes, it's about what we quietly decide to leave behind. There are fabrics that seem harmless at first glance, but the moment you put them on, something feels off. Old money style is built on subtlety. When a fabric works against you, the whole outfit loses its harmony. Today, I want to walk you through the materials that elegant women naturally avoid, not out of snobbery, but out of an instinct for textures that honor their femininity, their composure, and their quiet confidence. These fabrics aren't just not ideal. They interrupt the softness of your silhouette. They make clothing look newer in the wrong way, or older in the wrong way. They announce themselves instead of supporting you. And once you understand why they disrupt elegance, you'll never look at your wardrobe the same again. Fabric 1. Shiny polyester. There is a difference between a fabric that catches the light softly and a fabric that reflects it back harshly, almost like a mirror. Shiny polyester always falls into that second category. It has a manufactured gleam that immediately interrupts the calm, understated mood an elegant outfit needs. When you see it under natural light, the surface looks flat and overly reflective. The fabric doesn't absorb light with depth the way natural fibers do. Instead, it bounces it back in a sharp, almost plastic way that takes away from your presence. The issue isn't polyester as a whole. It's the shiny finish, the coating, the treatment, the artificial gloss intended to mimic silk or satin. But instead of giving you softness, it gives you glare. Instead of elegance, it gives you a surface that exposes every fold, every crease, every movement. Old money style relies on fabrics that have a natural quietness. Shiny polyester does the opposite. It feels impatient, overly eager, and just a touch too bright. The movement of this fabric also betrays its quality. Rather than gliding with weight and intention, it has a slippery, lightweight swish that feels unstable. It clings where it shouldn't, lifts where it's not meant to, and collapses instead of draping. You notice it the moment you walk. The fabric behaves independently of your body, creating shapes and shadows that feel uncontrolled. And uncontrolled movement is the quickest way to lose elegance. There is also something telling about how this fabric feels against the skin. It doesn't breathe. It doesn't soften. It doesn't respond to temperature or touch. Instead, it sits on the body in a way that makes you aware of it constantly. When a fabric makes you adjust, tug, or shift, it breaks your stillness. And a woman's stillness, that subtle, composed, quiet, is one of the strongest markers of elegance. Even from a distance, you can sense when a garment is made from shiny polyester. It has a kind of youthful glossiness that looks more like fashion trying too hard. Clothing should enhance your presence, not compete with it. This fabric competes. It shouts. It reflects light in ways that pull the eye toward the garment, instead of toward the woman. Removing shiny polyester from your wardrobe doesn't limit your options. It refines them. It shifts your style toward fabrics that whisper instead of glare, that move with intention, and that support your elegance rather than distracting from it. Fabric 2. Thin, flimsy viscose. Viscose can be beautiful when it has weight and structure, but the thin, flimsy version is one of the quickest ways to make an outfit lose its elegance. At first touch, it can seem soft and flowy, almost delicate. But the moment you slip it on, you notice how little support it gives your silhouette. Instead of draping with intention, it collapses. Instead of gliding, it clings unpredictably. Thin viscose doesn't create shape, it removes it. The problem with this fabric is its lack of presence. Elegant fabrics always have a relationship with the body. They either offer structure or they offer fluidity with weight. Thin viscose offers neither. It simply follows every small movement and every change in posture, highlighting areas you don't want highlighted and offering no softness in the places that need it. When you walk, the fabric behaves almost nervously, fluttering and shifting in ways that feel restless rather than refined. This flimsiness also affects your emotional presence. When a dress or blouse feels too light, too unstable, or too unstructured, you move differently. You take shorter steps. You adjust more. You become aware of the garment instead of forgetting it. True elegance comes when a fabric gives you stability, when it supports your posture and allows your gestures to be natural and unforced. Flimsy viscose breaks that natural ease. It makes the outfit feel temporary, fragile, and slightly unfinished. There is also the matter of longevity. Thin viscose wrinkles if you even look at it too long. It stretches out at the elbows, sags at the seams, and begins to pill or fade after a few wears. This quick decline is something elegant women instinctively avoid. Old money style values fabrics that age with grace, that soften beautifully, that develop character. Thin viscose does the opposite. It deteriorates, and it shows its age in the least flattering ways. From a visual perspective, this fabric often lacks depth. It absorbs light unevenly, creating patches of shadow and shine that distort the silhouette. The surface can appear slightly dull, slightly flimsy, slightly lifeless. Even when the design is beautiful, the material takes away from the dignity of the piece. When you remove thin, flimsy viscose from your wardrobe, your clothing begins to hold its shape more gracefully. Your outfits start to feel grounded, composed, intentional. You choose pieces that support you, pieces that move with confidence instead of collapsing around you. And that shift alone elevates your entire presence. Fabric 3. Scratchy acrylic knits. Acrylic knits are one of those fabrics that promise softness but rarely deliver it. At first glance, they can look cozy, even luxurious if the yarn is spun tightly enough. But the moment you touch them, or worse, the moment they touch your skin, you understand why elegant women avoid them. Acrylic has a stiffness disguised as softness, a synthetic texture that lacks the natural warmth and depth of real wool or cashmere. It tries to mimic refined fibers, but it never quite succeeds. The issue with acrylic knits is the way they feel in motion. Instead of flowing with the body, they often sit awkwardly on top of it. The fabric is light in the wrong way, almost hollow, without the reassuring weight of higher quality materials. When you move, acrylic tends to stretch rather than drape, creating shapes that don't flatter your silhouette. It pulls at the wrong places and loses its structure quickly, which makes even an elegant design appear tired after just a couple of wears. This loss of structure is one of the biggest reasons acrylic undermines elegance. Old money style relies heavily on fabrics that maintain their integrity over time. Acrylic pills easily, especially under the arms or along the sides of a handbag. Once the surface begins to fuzz, the garment instantly looks cheap, no matter how thoughtfully it was styled. Pilling is one of the quickest ways to ruin an otherwise sophisticated outfit, and acrylic is notorious for it. There's also the emotional side to consider. When you're wearing a knit that doesn't feel truly soft, you notice it constantly. It irritates the skin, causes small discomforts, and makes you subtly restless. That restlessness shows in your posture and your expression. Elegant women gravitate toward fabrics that calm the body, that make you want to move slowly, breathe deeply, and feel grounded. Acrylic does the opposite. It keeps you aware of itself, breaking that natural ease. Visually, acrylic lacks the depth of natural fibers. Wool and cashmere catch light in a way that looks plush, dimensional, and warm. Acrylic tends to appear flat, sometimes even shiny in an artificial way. It lacks the lived-in richness that makes knitwear feel truly expensive. When you eliminate scratchy acrylic from your wardrobe, your knitwear instantly feels more dignified. Your sweaters drape instead of cling. They soften instead of scratch. They age beautifully instead of falling apart. And with that simple shift, your elegance becomes much more natural, grounded, and true. Fabric 4. Crinkled synthetic chiffon. Crinkled synthetic chiffon is one of those fabrics that feels light and playful when you first see it, but the moment you put it on, something about the silhouette loses its refinement. The texture is often uneven in a way that looks accidental rather than intentional. Instead of flowing with grace, it floats unpredictably, creating movement that feels restless, almost anxious. And elegance never lives in fabrics that behave nervously. The issue begins with the surface. Natural chiffons have a soft, matte quality, a subtle transparency that feels delicate and controlled. Synthetic versions, especially those with a crinkled or overly textured finish, create a shine that scatters across the fabric. The surface becomes busy. the eye doesn't rest. Instead of looking soft and feminine, the fabric appears fussy and overly youthful. Even when the cut of the dress or blouse is beautiful, the material undermines the sophistication. Movement is another challenge. Crinkled synthetic chiffon catches air too easily, especially when layered. Rather than following your body, it flares out in unexpected ways. It lifts with the slightest breeze or motion, creating shapes that disrupt the clean, calm lines that elegant women prefer. When your clothing behaves unpredictably, your presence feels less grounded. You adjust more, you tame the fabric with your hands, and those small gestures take away from your composure. There is also a lack of weight in this fabric that becomes apparent as soon as you walk. True elegance comes from drape, from the way a garment settles around your frame. Lightweight chiffon, especially the synthetic kind, lacks that intentional drape. It floats when it shouldn't, sticks when you don't want it to, and creates outlines that draw attention rather than shape it. Old money style favors fabrics with maturity. Crinkled synthetic chiffon feels too youthful in the wrong way, not fresh, but flimsy. And then there's the issue of longevity. This fabric snags easily. It pulls at jewelry, at handbags, at rough surfaces. A single wear can leave small imperfections that catch the light. And once it's damaged, there's almost no repairing it. Elegant wardrobes rely on pieces that age gracefully. Chiffon of this kind rarely lasts long enough to become a reliable staple. Visually, the fabric often photographs poorly as well. The uneven texture reflects light in random spots, creating a scattered, unfocused look that flattens the silhouette. The result is an outfit that looks less polished than it should, even if the styling is thoughtful. When you let go of crinkled synthetic chiffon, you make room for materials that flatter your movement, soften your presence, and give your silhouette the calm, composed lines that define true elegance. Fabric 5. Overly stretchy jersey. There is a particular kind of jersey that feels comfortable in theory, but the moment you see it in motion, you understand why elegant women avoid it. Overly stretchy jersey is soft in the wrong way, flimsy in the wrong way, and revealing in the wrong way. Instead of offering gentle drape, it clings to the body's every outline, creating a silhouette that feels more exposed than refined. True elegance relies on a certain amount of calm distance between fabric and skin, and stretchy jerseys simply cannot provide that. The biggest issue with this fabric is its elasticity. The more stretch it contains, the more it reacts to even the smallest movements. When you sit, it creases sharply. When you stand, it snaps back. When you walk, it pulls and shifts in unpredictable patterns. This kind of behavior disrupts the serene, composed presence that defines old money style. Elegant clothing should move with you, not cling to you like a second skin, and stretchy jersey often creates that effect, flattening the silhouette and revealing more than you intended. There's also something about the texture that gives away its quality instantly. High-quality knits have weight, they drape, they respond to gravity. But cheap jersey tends to be thin with a slightly rubbery feel, especially when blended with too much elastane. Instead of gliding, it grips. Instead of floating, it clutches. Even from a distance, you can sense the fabric lacks stability. It looks almost liquid in the wrong way, following the body too closely, making the outfit feel more casual, more youthful, and less refined. Another challenge with stretchy jersey is how quickly it shows wear. After only a few washes, the fibers begin to break down. The surface becomes fuzzy, the elasticity weakens, and the garment starts to sag or twist at the seams. The neckline loses shape, the hem ripples. These small distortions are subtle, but they remove the sense of structure and intention that elegant dressing requires. Old money style depends on pieces that maintain their form. Stretchy jersey rarely survives long enough to remain polished. From an emotional perspective, this fabric also influences how you carry yourself. When something clings too tightly or reveals too much movement, you become self-conscious. You adjust your posture more often, smoothing the dress or tugging at the top. These small gestures interrupt your stillness, and stillness is one of the quiet signals of true elegance. When you remove overly stretchy jersey from your wardrobe, you make room for fabrics that offer both comfort and composure. The kind that skim instead of cling, support instead of squeeze, and allow your silhouette to remain soft, clean, and confidently feminine. Fabric 6. Stiff faux leather. Faux leather can be done well, but stiff faux leather is the version that instantly breaks the softness and sophistication of an elegant outfit. It has a rigid, artificial feel that creates shapes the body never naturally makes. Instead of contouring with gentle structure, it forms harsh angles. Instead of moving with you, it resists every gesture. Old money elegance relies on fabrics that feel lived in, warm, and quietly luxurious. Stiff faux leather has none of that. It feels cold, shiny, and disconnected from the woman wearing it. The first problem reveals itself the moment you touch it. High-quality leather, even vegan alternatives, has a suppleness that gives slightly under your hand. Stiff faux leather, on the other hand, doesn't give at all. It bends sharply, almost like cardboard covered in plastic. When you put it on, you immediately feel how unnatural the fabric is. It doesn't drape. It doesn't soften. It doesn't embrace the body. It sits on top of it, creating a layer that looks more costume-like than stylish. Movement is another challenge. As you walk or sit, the fabric shifts in abrupt, unnatural ways. Instead of flowing, it creases sharply, creating deep lines that remain even after you stand. These creases don't soften over time, and they rarely recover. They stay visible, aging the garment prematurely. Elegant wardrobes rely on materials that develop character. Stiff faux leather simply breaks down. The surface also reveals its quality immediately. Stiff faux leather has a shine that feels synthetic, a reflectiveness that pulls attention for the wrong reasons. Instead of a soft glow, you get a harsh gleam. Instead of depth, you get flatness. Light doesn't interact with the material in a rich way. It bounces off abruptly, highlighting the artificiality of the texture. No matter how well the piece is designed, the surface finish gives it away. And then there's the sound, something no one talks about, but everyone notices subconsciously. Stiff faux leather makes noise when you move. A slight squeak, a faint rub, a subtle stiffness that interrupts your presence. Elegant fabrics are quiet. They create atmosphere, not distraction. When a garment announces every shift of your body, it takes away from your composure. Wearing stiff faux leather also affects your emotional state. You feel less fluid, less relaxed, less graceful. Your movements become controlled not because you feel elegant, but because the fabric restricts you. And elegance is never about restriction. By removing stiff faux leather from your wardrobe, you protect the softness of your silhouette, the smoothness of your movement, and the natural refinement that defines truly elegant style. Fabric 7. Ultra-thin linen. Linen can be one of the most elegant fabrics in the world when it has weight, texture, and a grounded presence. But ultra-thin linen, the kind that looks airy in theory but lacks all structure in practice, can take an outfit from effortlessly refined to unintentionally messy in seconds. The problem isn't linen itself. It's the version that's so delicate, so transparent, and so loosely woven that it cannot hold a silhouette. The first issue is the lack of weight. True elegance in linen comes from its ability to fall with intention. It has movement, but that movement is anchored by its natural density. Ultra-thin linen has no anchor. When you walk, it flutters uncontrollably. When you sit, it wrinkles sharply rather than softly. When you stand still, it collapses against the body, highlighting areas that should remain softly outlined instead of exposed. There's nothing grounding the fabric, and without grounding, elegance fades. Transparency is another challenge. Thin linen often appears semi-sheer, even in layers, revealing outlines and shadows beneath the surface. Instead of looking naturally textured, it can appear unpolished and slightly unfinished. One of the fundamentals of old money style is discretion, the art of revealing nothing unnecessary. Ultra-thin linen breaks that rule, creating unintentional visibility that feels more careless than refined. Movement is where this fabric betrays itself most clearly. While heavier linen glides with a calm sway, ultra-thin linen reacts to every small breeze, lifting, twisting, and shifting in ways that feel unsettled. When your clothing behaves unpredictably, you instinctively adjust it, hold it down, smooth it out, These tiny gestures break your stillness, and stillness is one of the core elements of elegance. Clothing should support your presence, not demand constant supervision. Ultra-thin linen also ages poorly. Unlike medium or heavy linen, which softens beautifully over time, thin linen tends to distort. The weave stretches, the seams lose alignment. The surface becomes uneven. You begin to see waves, twists, and ripples where there should be clean lines. A garment that once looked breezy now looks tired. When you remove ultra-thin linen from your wardrobe, you still get to enjoy the beauty of the fabric, just in its more sophisticated forms. Linen with weight brings depth. It drapes softly. It carries quiet confidence. It mirrors old money values by looking better with each wear instead of collapsing into shapelessness. Avoiding ultra-thin linen is simply choosing the version of elegance that stays with you, supports you, and ages gracefully, the kind of elegance that never feels rushed or fragile, but grounded, calm, and beautifully composed. Elegance begins long before you choose a silhouette, a color, or even an outfit. It begins with the fabric. The way it falls, the way it breathes, the way it interacts with light, and most importantly, the way it supports your presence. When a material works against you, when it clings too tightly, shines too harshly, floats too wildly, or collapses without structure, your entire outfit loses its harmony, no matter how beautiful the design might be. What these 7 fabrics have in common is simple. They interrupt your elegance. They distract instead of refine. They draw attention to the garment instead of elevating the woman wearing it. And real elegance has never been about the fabric speaking louder than you. It's about choosing materials that move with you, soften you, and create a calm outline around your figure. Once you begin removing low-quality, overly shiny, overly stretchy, or unstable fabrics from your wardrobe, something subtle but transformative happens. Your outfits start to look more expensive even when the price hasn't changed. Your silhouette becomes cleaner, your movement slows, your body language feels more grounded, more assured. Quality fabrics invite a different posture, a different rhythm. They make you want to move with intention. That inner shift is what people notice, even if they can't explain it. Old money elegance has never been about following strict rules. It's about developing an instinct for what feels right. Not what screams for attention, but what creates quiet confidence. Not what sparkles on a hanger, but what carries dignity when worn. When you surround yourself with fabrics that honor your skin, your presence, and your femininity, your entire wardrobe becomes calmer, more thoughtful, more timeless. Elegance is not something you put on, it's something you cultivate. And choosing the right fabrics is one of the most powerful steps you can take toward creating a wardrobe that reflects the woman you are becoming: refined, intentional, and beautifully composed.